Well,
Wow.
hello and welcome to the Trans Nation Challenge GP2 category qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm Brett Keenan. Joining to me today is Erland, GP3 driver and Invitational F1 driver. Wet conditions today for
Hi,
the...
Brett.
Yep, so if qualifying is in full wet well, I don't know if it's full wet conditions, but reasonably wet conditions. So this is definitely going to test drivers' limitations. And who do you think is going to put it out on pole position in these conditions? Because we know M Verche is good in the wet.
Yeah, I think Virgil is gonna take the pole. Then if it stays the same in the race, I think he loves rain. I think that for Virgil, like he loves rain, and yeah, that's the only thing I know. I practiced with him before, then I saw his trail and wet setup. Like he's really fast.
Well, I'm just going to interject there because I just saw Warlord 1313 hit the fence coming out of pit lane, and I think he's chipped a bit of his front wing already on the get-go. So, oh no, sorry, it wasn't Warlords. It was Conman 69, the new addition to the Red Bull Racing outfit after being extricated from Ferrari to allow Kart 1979 into the Scuderia. So. You've been in the game long enough. You've seen the kind of the switch in the paddock. I mean, you yourself are one of the candidates of the switching system when you move from Renault to Mercedes. Do you think Kart moving to Ferrari was a good call, or do you think this could be the deciding factor of destroying both the championships?
I think in general it's a good call but I felt like it's a bit unfair because they are. Whoa! What's happened in the qualifying?
I think RZDV and Beatty have come together. It looks as RZDV's lost a bit of his front wing, and Beatty, I think Beatty's the same. So that's So anyway, what you were saying about what you were saying?
Okay, what's the question again? I forgot it.
The call of whether moving Kart to Ferrari was a good call.
Oh yeah. I think it's a little bit unfair for everyone else because they are like the fastest one. You shouldn't pair them in one team. I think like for me in GP3 I was paired with Jonathan, like in JL with TMNA, and now me with Jordan Dittmer. That's what makes the constructor is so tight in the championship. But in GP2 if you place Mackenzie and Kart together, like they're probably unstoppable unless Virgil wins. And where is Pure Axel? No.
Yeah, I kind of see it, and I kind of see the two. Like it's good for Ferrari to kind of get their constructors back on track, but I think at the same time we're probably going to see a little bit of Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg instance with these two because they are championship rivals at the moment as well as teammates. So M Verche is going to now cross the line, set a 15.8. I haven't really seen much of the pace of the wet weather tyre, so that looks pretty reasonable. Going Z now goes up to P2 with a 17. Holy crap! So wow, okay.
2 seconds faster.
That's incredible there. So so here comes Warlord, who's also considered a wet weather specialist. He's definitely not. It's going to be a 17.6, so wow. And here comes Kart, and he does a 17.4 to be P2. So yeah, M Verche 2 seconds faster on the intermediates, and Stuart McKenzie 2, our championship points leader, only P10. Oh, Table Clan up to P2 with a 16.5. So the first.
Well.
And Pure Axel 21.21. has moved up to P3 and the second McLaren Honda to be, and is within 6/10 of a second of Table Clan. So Table Clan, the Spaniard, who we regard to as the Fernando of the series, looking pretty strong.
And surprisingly, Habs for Life is doing pretty well with 118. He's in a 7th place.
Yeah,
surprisingly.
Actually, that is quite good for him. Big Mike also in the sport, he missed Baku, which I think he'd be pretty glad he did. With
Big Mike, yeah.
And he's actually ahead of Stuart McKenzie too in qualifying. So
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. So Betty and RZDV RDV's still in the pit, so oh no, he's just made it back to pit lane. So oh no, sorry, that's someone else. So what's Beardy gonna? Oh, that's just.
I think Barty is gonna struggling so much because I practiced with him so many times, and like few hours before that, he asked me about my setup, and when he showed me his, like, I don't know how he can handle that. Like for me, if I'm using his setup, it's so unstable.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there. Kart's just now gone to the top with a 15.7, so he's displaced Verche by 1/10 of a second.
Wow.
And
it's so Mackenzie is going to struggle to match Kart's pace, I think.
Well, I think Kart will be kind of looking at this and thinking, well, this is good at the moment because it doesn't look like. I mean, let's have a look at Mackenzie's telemetry. So he's running lean, quite a lot of fuel. So I don't know what his end game is, whether he's just pacing himself, and he's got pure axle 2121 behind him, so that's not going to do him or Alex any favours. We've got an incident now, sector 2 and sector 3. Kart's made a mistake, so he's made a mistake coming into with curve 2, 4, 5 and 6. So yeah, don't be too surprised if you hear me start saying corner names, that the names of the corners, because I've done this track so many times I've actually learned all the track names. Oh, Kart! Oh, look at that!
Oh,
that was a beautiful shot of the above the air intake of watching Kart just lose the rear of the car. And so at the moment the order is Kart, Verche, pure axle 2121. So McLaren, Honda 2 and 3, and that's going to help them with the constructors as it stands. Warlords 1313, Table Clan, Beardy, Ripper Tretch, Going Z28, Habs for Life, and Conman 69 makes up the top 10. And then it's Big Mike and Stuart Mackenzie 2. So he is improving. He's just gone 5/10 of a second faster into sector 1, but that's of course.
Nobody is in a 6th place. That's good. Yeah. Birdie.
So Stuart Mackenzie 2's 5/10 up on his previous best, which is a 19.7. So in saying that, he's only going to improve to a 19.2 if he keeps that out. Okay, so he's gone 3 seconds faster into sector 2. So that's still only going to put him into the 16s. Unless he can nail the...
He's going to be in a mix.
He's got to nail the 3rd sector, or else...
Oh.
Or else this is going to be roughly... Oh, he's dangerous at moves and guidance. Like that, he's going to cross the line in the 15th.
Wow.
Oh, he goes to the top, so...
Wow.
So there's 4 minutes left in the session at the moment. Currently, no one apart from Beardy, Rupert Tretch and Going Z are out on a flyer. A lot of people have been talking up Going Z's been talking himself up quite a bit today. Well,
he's up 0.1 in the sector 2, yeah, but he's still slow.
We don't tend to try and say they're being slow. We just say they're off the pace.
No, I mean compared to the top guys, like because he's just 0.1 faster than his previous lap time. It means he's still 1.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, well, if you have a look at his telemetry, you can kind of see why he's running a lot of fuel. So he's obviously looking to try.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Beardy's Beardy's gone into the fence at the penultimate turn. So
it happens to him so many times in the practice session. I hope he can stay accident-free in the race.
So yeah, so Going Z is running a lot of fuel going into this. So he's obviously looking to just use these tyres, and
oh yeah, he has 6 laps in his car.
Yeah, so he's going to the end. They must be under the impression that there is no wet start to this race.
But is it a little too much because he only have 2 minutes left?
Well, yeah, I think he should have probably brought the fuel load just down a little bit, but you can understand where he's coming from, what he wants to do, because if it's not going to rain at the start of the Grand Prix this weekend, it's all right to use these tyres up. So he's obviously looking to try and get a good lap in, just burn the fuel, put a bit of fuel in, go for a few laps. As you can see, one of the Ferraris in front of him going completely sideways, and that's kart 1979. He'll be motivated now to
let's say Enverche right now.
yeah. So Enverche,
18.1 is great.
yeah, well, something about Enverche coming into wet Grand Prix, he just always seems to switch the car on. It's unfortunate though because he can't quite replicate it. I mean, Monaco was a bit of a different story because Monaco, I suppose you could treat it as like it's like racing on a wet circuit, because if you one mistake and you're out of the race. So a wet race in Monaco, not exactly a bad comparison. So we'll see what he does in sector 2. It'll definitely another 18.1. So 56.2 into sector 2. So not seeing any display on whether that's faster or slower at the moment, but we'll definitely see. So he's got to make up 2/10 of a second to snag pole position from the 2 Ferrari boys, and I'm sure he'll be just a little.
I think he can make it. He can make it.
And
Wow.
yes!
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, 15.
Oh.
It was a 15.5, but it was invalidated.
Oh. I think the pressure to get a pole makes you make mistake, and it happens to me a few times in the practice.
Yeah, but and that's the thing about Austria. It's the slightest bit of wheel off the circuit and your lap is invalidated. So we're just going to watch again and see what happens. I don't think there's a lot more in other drivers. So it's really Big Mike. I think, has he crashed or has he just given it up? He's just given it up. So Enverche is going to have table clan soon to contend with. So he'll need to hope that table clan doesn't. So what's the second sector? Oh, he's up by 4/10.
Oh.
So he could get easily into the 15 fours. Maybe if he can nail the third sector well, he could get. He's just going to be. He's got 4/10. He doesn't need to push too hard here. Yep, and you can see he's staying off the curb. The checkered flag's out. Can he nail pole position on the line? Let's have a look. He crosses the line. Yes, a 15.1.
Yes.
Enverche pole position with a 15.1.
It's really great.
And kart
See, the Red
1979
Master.
boarded as lap 2, so the only 2 people that can displace him at the moment is Stuart McKenzie 2 and Warlords 1313. Really, and well, I mean in realistic terms, no offense to.
I think McKenzie is lower, like by 0.4 of a second is per sector, so I don't think he can make it in the pole unless.
So,
Let's see. Point.
No, he's well off. He's way off in his
Okay.
race. I don't know why he didn't abort there. He's going to cross the line. He set like a 21.7, so no idea what the plan there was. But Enverche, God, he should be. He's labelled the rain. He's the Rainmeister of GP2. That's for sure. So that's qualifying so far with GP2. And here are your results. So Enverche on the line, pole position from Stuart McKenzie 2. Kart 1979.
RZDV.
Yeah, RZDV, a 5-place grid penalty. Must have been to do with the contact with Beardy, or other way around. We'll have a quick look and see at the race director and see. It was collision with Beardy. So yeah, so obviously it looked like it was the other way around. So heading into the race, what can we see? Stay tuned to find out.